On Bulletin Board this week, from outdoor movie nights to campus ministries, a special feature with Elder Amanda Ismail, another big question with Njabulo, to bake sales and car washes and Global Youth Day. You're watching Bulletin Board. Wait, Yima wach, kaubambi kanini. Let's just go back to that outdoor movie night with AY Good Times last weekend. It looks like so much fun was had. Such a cool idea, don't you think? And then I saw an advert in our church's Women's Ministries WhatsApp group, and I kind of feel like I grew up with the speaker. Our parents taught at Good Hope High School at the same time at some point. I love the fact that with age comes a deeper experience of nostalgia. And if you don't know what nostalgia is, Google is most everybody's friend. But back to business. Virtual Prayer Ministry hosted a daily prayer meeting that took place from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. And the guest speaker for this past week was Pastor Ellsworth Baxon, ministering in Mauritius. What a beautiful way to start the day. Please note, I didn't even blink at the 4 to 6 a.m. time slot. That, my dear friends, is my prime time of my day. Speaking of prime, students at Halberg College of Higher Education, in the prime of their lives, are in their spiritual nourishment era. It's been a week in spiritual emphasis. Note, I didn't say a week of prayer, no? A number of years ago, the college decided to change from the conventional week of prayer, which could imply a week of only prayer, to a week that the college spends in spiritual emphasis. How beautiful is that? With a list of spiritual programs for the week: prayer, fellowship, walks, the Word of God with Pastor Ayas Kabasa, who actually grew up on the college campus when his dad was studying theology there. There was music, an agape feast, and communion, and so on. You want to study at Halberg College of Higher Education? Check out their website today. And then for those of you who know the Dean of Men at Halberg, it makes sense that there was an indoor Olympiad to end things off. Fun was had. There are a number of new students this year. And through all the programs, academic, spiritual, and physical, it's clear that the education on offer at the Halberg College of Higher Education is holistic. And herein lies the underpinning core value of Seventh-day Adventist education. We should talk about that sometime on Bulletin Board. The Belleville Adventist Youth is having a food drive. They're collecting non-perishables to fill some empty plates. Listening is a skill, no? The food drive has already started. So don't do that thing where you want to go and drop off some perishables and you plan to do it and you aim to do it and you want to do it, but you don't get around to doing it. Don't do that thing again, man. Drop off some non-perishables and be the reason someone smiles at mealtime. You have until 16 March 2024. The Riverside Adventist Youth didn't have to wait until the 16th of March 2024 to have their facilitated discussion, Being Mr. and Mrs. Right. Something about the framing of the topic draws me in. Being Mr. and Mrs. Right, not looking for Mr. and Mrs. Right. We'll get more on this story on Bulletin Board. I saw somewhere that the Master Guide validation was held at the Good Hope High School Hall this past Sabbath at Kales River Church. Were you there? Did you validate your sash? Are you a Master Guide? Last week, I know we said that there were 2 events today. Well, I have it on good authority that it's now become 3 because at 08:30, the Riverside SDA Church had their women's ministry launch with cake and tea. Then the Kales River SDA Church Health Department had their prayer breakfast, and also the Plumstead Health Expo took place. I'm so tempted to say that I hope you went for your fitness test at the Health Expo before you went for your breakfasts, but I'm not going to say that. The Belleville Adventist Youth Week of Prayer started today. Meetings start at 7 p.m. at the church. See you there. For this week's bulletin board feature, remember we spoke about the North Pine Adventurer Club investiture that was going to take place yesterday, and the North Pine Pathfinder Club inauguration, the very first Pathfinder Club in North Pine. Well, we were there. We also had the blessing of speaking to Amanda Ismail, the elder responsible for adventurers and pathfinders. Hello everybody, and we're coming to you live from a very windy Kraaifontein. Bulletin board is here at Kraaifontein Church, but we're not here for Kraaifontein Church. It's a little bit complicated, but I'm going to explain it to you now. But first, you see this beautiful young lady standing next to me. She and her husband are 2 of my brother's best friends. I just wanted to get that in. Brent, it's Amanda. Amanda, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
That's awesome. What's your role here in the church or in North Pine Church? Because that's why we're here.
Thank you. I am the elder, one of the elders of North Pine Church, but I'm also the councillor of the North Pine Adventurer Club, and my husband Carlo is the director of the club.
Oh, tag team. What's it like working with your husband and doing these things in church?
Working with children. One word to describe it, it's awesome, it's amazing. They are the most real people ever that you can work with, and they are also the people that give you the most love.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's the people that give you the most trouble, and you just touched my heart with that love one. So, what made you decide to get involved with children at church?
Well, we originally come from the Kales River Church, and we are 2 master guides. And so when we came to the North Pine Church, we saw, but there's no adventurer club. And obviously, when you are a master guide, you have to step in when you see there is an opportunity. But we had a big challenge and a big mountain before us in it that we don't have our own church building. But we did not let that keep us back. The parents and the grandparents opened up their homes, and today is our 2nd investiture.
I thought it was the first investiture. Oh, this is amazing. And you know what? I want to say to all the master guides out there, you can't just be a master guide and then put that on your CV. There's work to be done. Amanda has just explained to you exactly what you can do at your church. Get involved. Put yourself in there. Amanda, is there anything that you would like to say to the parents of children at church?
This is such an amazing, well-rounded program. Not only do our program is Bible-based, so not only do we teach the children about the Bible, we teach them about themselves, we teach them about the world, and we teach them, and we do this in a very fun manner and on their level. If you have a child between the ages of 4 to 9, this is a program for your children.
Oh, I don't have to say anything else. Thank you so much for this few minutes of your time, and we hope that everything goes super well.
Thank you so much.
My heart is so full. We've got to do more stories about how we're taking care of the future. One thing about Njabulo, the dude's got questions. Here he is with another local church member for The Big Question.
Welcome viewers to the next big question. I am Jabulo Choma, and today I am joined by Gershon Isaacs here at Belleville SDA Church. Now, Gershon, I would like to ask you a question. When last did you lunch here at church?
Oh man, if I really have to think, it would probably be before COVID. So I would say at least about 6-7 years ago.
Why is that?
Well, in all honesty, there hasn't been many potlucks since then. But also, I suppose, proper maybe planning. Yeah, I would definitely support it.
Don't you think it's important to us as a church that we always like fellowship together, and that could include having lunch at church?
Most definitely, and that's also the time when you get to know each other on a face-to-face basis. Other than seeing each other at church, greeting and surface level stuff, you don't really get to spend and actually chat to somebody. So yeah, definitely.
Would you be open if there was a potluck announced today? Would you be open to joining?
For today, for sure. Especially if there's going to be gluten.
Oh yes, yes. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. That's lunching in church is a very important part of fellowship. So we want to encourage people to continue to fellowship together and enjoy conversations as one another and by lunching in church. I'm Jablo Choma, and that was the big question.
Sabbath lunch at church. I love how there are so many different experiences and nuances, but the nub of it is fellowship. I think we would do well to figure out how we can improve that aspect of our church life. Just my 2 cents. Thank you, Njabs. We don't know which way you're going to go with next week's question, but we're going to be here for it. And now for events coming up. Young people, this Global Youth Day on 16 March, let's show up in the cities. See what I did there? The 16th of March is when thousands of Seventh-day Adventist young people around the world engage in service projects in their communities, towns, and cities. As for the Cape Conference, we're showing up in Paarl, people, from 9 a.m. at the Strauss Hall in Paarl. Do you have your GYD 24 t-shirt yet? Sorted 8. It's most a GYD 24 t-shirt and jeans day. Okay, if you don't have your t-shirt yet, don't worry, we've got you on Bulletin board. GYD 24 t-shirts were collected from Good Hope High School today. For those of you who went to fetch your t-shirt, I hope you took your proof of payment and your order with you, eh? But if you missed the opportunity to get your t-shirt, they will also be available from the conference office on Thursday 14 March from 9 a.m. to 15:30 and Friday 15 March from 0900 to 12:30. And then the very next day, 17 March 2024, the Riverside Adventurer Club is having a bake sale and car wash. It'll be on the Riverside campus, so bring your car to the car wash and then while you wait, grab some delectable baked goodies. I know what I'm talking about. Just remember, it's a fundraiser, so please plan to pay for the car wash and the baked goods. We have big news from our channel. Bulletin board is getting a new slot and a live premiere. You can catch Bulletin board on Mondays at 1900 starting next week. Join us for the premiere so we can all check out the Bulletin board together. We love how Bulletin board is growing. Thank you for allowing us to share your events here and keep sending them in. And if you want to share video clips, it's easy. Just email us and we'll send you the specs. Be sure to join us in our new time slot next Monday evening at 1900 for the live premiere as we take another look at the Bulletin board. Igama lam Gulisa Marie Smith, wishing you a blessed week ahead. Ndizonibona next time.